In this video guys, I want to talk about Survivor Awakening. Let me help you to choose which survivors are better to awake for your panda. Why only Master Yan? Because it's a top survivor and there is no sense to use others as main. But before I will tell you which ones are better to awake, let me show you these two lists. In the first one, you can see how many shards you need to upgrade your common survivors and S survivor to 6 stars. And in the second list, you can see how many shards, how many awakening cores you need to make 6 red stars. These two lists and all awakening survivors in a good quality you'll find on my Discord server, the link on which you'll find in the description and comments of this video. To understand how many survivors you need to awake, at first we need to check Master Yan. As we can see, you can use up to 3 teamwork passive skills, but to use at least one, you will need him 2 stars. So before awakening other survivors, awake Master Yan and make him 2 stars. Then awake one survivor, no need to awake 2. To use 2 teamwork passive skills, you need him 4 stars. So make him 4 stars, then awake the second common survivor. And awake the third survivor after having Master Yan 6 stars. Now, let's find out which one should be the first. In general, it is recommended to awake catnips because you will get plus 5% to drone damage. By the way, 2 stars gives another plus 5% damage, so in total it will be plus 10%. Whenever you see that skill affect passive skill, in our case Magmit Unity, it also applies to teamwork passive skill. So catnip 6 stars will give another plus 10% damage to drones. As I said, at first it's better to awake catnips, but in some cases it's better to awake worm, and let me explain you why and when. Worm will give you plus 10% to crit damage, at 2 stars it will be plus 20% in total. But what is really crazy about him is 4 and 6 stars. Worm at 6 stars will give you 20% cooldown time reduction, plus 25% damage to skills, and plus 35% damage to crit. Crazy buffs, but they are active when there are fewer than 3 monsters on the map. So technically it is good against bosses which don't summon mobs. For example, it's Pass of Trials, some Ender's Echo bosses, Clan Expedition bosses. So catnips is good in general, but as for me and the first survivor, you should awake Worm. Anyway, it's more up to you because Worm is not always better, you should have less than 3 enemies on a map. To find out what is the last survivor better to awake for Master Yan, let me show you other survivors, which I don't recommend you to awake, and explain you why. The first one is Tsukiyomi. It is said that to increase weapons damage, blades must be used. This passive is related to her exclusive skills. Wesen is not recommended because it increases damage to character's exclusive skill. There is no use in it as teamwork passive. Helena's passive affects Lightning Emitter, Laser Launcher and Force Fields damage, skills which are not really good. About common, it is more interesting because it can be useful. To have it active, you will need a shield which you can get for example from double S armor. So if you're using it, then for you, at the last survivor, it will be better to awake common. But note guys, that you will need him at least 2 stars and all skill damage gets not plus 20%, it's a mistake, it is only plus 5%, tested. If you're not going to awake common, then at the last survivor it will be good to have Kin. Make her at least 2 stars because all inflicted enemies by Burning Circle will be receiving plus 5% damage. At 4 stars it will be plus 10, at 6 stars in total it will be plus 20. Okay guys, now you know which survivors are better to awake, so subscribe my channel and would be great if you will like this video, because it helps me to make better content for you.